Good evening, everyone. We welcome you here with us tonight. My name is Debbie Zito, and I am so honored to be joined by my amazing friends and colleagues, Dr. Sean McKee, Dr. Deb Viglione, and Dr. Neil Goodman. So tonight, we wanted to share some information that we hope and pray will be valuable and enlightening for you, and maybe and hopefully even life-changing for someone out there. So before we begin, I'd love for each of my friends tonight to tell you a little bit about themselves, where you're from, and a description of your practice in medicine. And I'll just go ahead and go first. So again, my name's Debbie Zito, and I've been practicing as a PA for 31 years, and I specialize in pediatric and adolescent medicine. I'm also a lactation consultant. And I'm from St. Simons Island, Georgia, and I live here with my amazing husband, Mike, and we have two beautiful, lovely girls, Jessie and Taylor. And my family is always one of my biggest whys in just about everything that I do and everything that I share. Dr. McKee?
Well, hello, my name's Sean McKee. I live in a beautiful oceanfront town or seaside town called Ocean Springs. And I've been practicing for 30 years. I live in Ocean Springs with my husband of 32 years, my two cute dogs, and my boys who are in college right now. And I absolutely love where I live because it's a gateway to the world and I get to go wherever I want, sometimes through the airport that's local. So Dr. Goodman.
All right. Well, greetings, everybody. Thank you for having me as a guest. My name is Neil Goodman. I'm a board-certified pediatrician. I've been practicing for over 36 years, and I also live in St. Simons Island, Georgia. I came to Georgia via the military. That's how I got here. And I'm married to my lovely wife, who's also a ex-military person and a doctor, and she's an obstetrician gynecologist. And we both practice in the same town, different areas, of course. And I just really enjoy all of the science and all information about, activation and good healthful living. And I've had some amazing results as a result of my journey.
I love that. Dr. Viglione?
I am Deborah Viglione, and I practice in Gulf Breeze, Florida, which is outside of Pensacola on the Sound. We're actually on a peninsula. It's beautiful here. That's really not, the background is not where we live, but it looks a lot like it. Anyway, I'm board certified in internal medicine, and I have a small concierge internal medicine practice, but outside of that, I do regenerative medicine, anti-aging medicine, endocrinology, hormones, and cosmetic medicine. So it's really fun practice. In fact, a patient was in today and said, "This is the best office I've ever been in. Everything from start to finish was fun." Normally.
I love it.
Office. So
I love it. That's what it's all about. I love it.
Well and young and full of energy.
I love it. Okay, so let's get started. Healthcare professional burnout. The struggle is real, isn't it? Whether you're a physician, a mid-level, a nurse, a paramedic, an EMT, a medical assistant, whatever role you play in medicine, healthcare burnout is real. So it's epidemic at this point, everyone. And in all my years of practicing medicine, I've never seen it at this level. In the medical world, there's increasing demands on medical professionals. So many have been facing overwhelming stress. Many are exhausted. Many are losing their jobs due to mandates. Many have been placed in environments that are not consistent, with their usual practice of medical care, causing even more stress. And many are truly just overwhelmed. So chronic exposure to high emotional and even physical stress is really moving to a systemic level, and it is pervasive. So with my colleagues tonight, we have all been blessed to maintain good health with a nutrigenomic product that is really changing so many lives. And as a group, we've been discussing the problem of medical provider burnout for a while now, and thought that it would be really helpful if we all publicly shared about a wellness solution and the opportunity associated with it and how it has helped each and every one of us. So we found a solution, and one that's helped ease the financial, emotional, and physical stress for each of us. And we found by partnering with the global wellness company called LifeVantage that we truly were given a gift. So I'd love to just ask each of you a few questions so we can share with everybody our journey, if that's okay. And Dr. McKee, I'd love to start with you first. I know both of us found LifeVantage after searching for a health solution. We were both experiencing horrible mental and physical burnout. We both knew pretty quickly, and I know you'll agree with this, Dr. Sean, that we had our hands on something extraordinary, and even something Washington State University called the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of health. So I know you had this incredible, thriving neuroradiology practice, right? So tell me this, what was the pivotal point for you, Dr. Sean, when you decided to start building a plan B and build this global wellness network marketing business?
Well, thanks for that question. It really wasn't like a sudden change. It was a gradual kind of realization that, I didn't have a job, I was the job. So for instance, if I scheduled my day so that I could make it to my son's 5:30 p.m., violin recital, or my boys' 6 p.m. swim meet, yes, I could do that. I could say, this is what I'd like. But however, if a patient was added on to the schedule and needed my supervision or interaction or, intervention, guess what? I wasn't making the recital. I wasn't making the swim meet. And what ended up becoming the kind of realization moment was when my mother was diagnosed with a really serious illness. And I, being the only child of an only child, I was already frustrated because I was like, how do people do this? How do people get to their kids' events if they not only have a job, but they are the job? I don't understand this. I want to be able to be in control of my time, and I really wasn't. But the kind of realization came when my mom was faced with this devastating illness, and being an only child of an only child, I wanted to take off time to be there with her. So what I found myself with was a situation where I had the overhead of my office and staff and insurance, et cetera. And I didn't have the ability to bring income in when I was with my mother in another town. And at the same time, I had all these fires happening at the practice, but I wasn't there to deal with them. And so I'm trying to be present with my mom, being where I needed to be, being where I was supposed to be. And just the added stress of what was happening back at the office, which wasn't just, the job. It was my whole financial future was tied up with this. And I realized, wow, how do people deal with life? And I knew there had to be a better way. So that's where I realized, I need to do something different.
Wow, the struggle was real, right? No wonder you were felt like your health was crumbling and everything. So Dr. McKee, I know you have been with our company, LifeVantage, for the longest duration of all of us, 9.5 years, right? Almost 10 years. And I know your passion for health and wellness, and you are amazing. I mean, you could have partnered with any nutraceutical company out there, and they would have loved to have you. I know we've been so blessed by having you as part of our company. So why did you choose LifeVantage specifically?
Oh, that's such a great question, because really, I was wondering how people did this, right? But I didn't know that this is how some people did it. I didn't know this even existed. Like, I was a good friend. I supported my friends whenever they would have like a, home party for a home decor company or a memories company or a candles company. I'd gone to many of those things. Never ever dawned on me to do that as a business. In fact, the friends who I hosted for or whose homes I went to suggested that I, become a business builder with these other companies. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm a physician, I'm married to a physician, sure. If there's a discount and I want the products, maybe if it makes sense financially, I'll do it. But I never, ever looked at that as a different way to make an income, because obviously, I always thought, I've got the best job in the world. Right. But what ended up happening is, like, this company found me, because in all of those stressors of trying to be a mom and be a practice owner and an investor and be there for my family when they needed me. And I had these health concerns, my mother with cancer, my grandmother with Alzheimer's, my grandfather with a broken hip. I found myself physically and emotionally exhausted. And so my husband sweetly suggested that I see an anti-aging doctor to get some labs done, because I really was more tired than I should have been in my mid 40s. In fact, at age 45, I literally felt like I was 65. And I was like, if this is what 45 feels like, I don't even want to know what 55 feels like. And I certainly don't want to know what 65 feels like. So when I went to see my doctor, she looked at me and she said, you can keep on doing what you're doing, but you're going to die. And that got my attention. So I was like, okay, need to take time for self-care. But I'm like, how do people do this? How do people do this? I was so stressed out that I was like, this is me doing self-care. How do people do this? It was bad. And so I did this for 6 months. I took all of her little anti-aging supplements. I was taking 28 pills a day, hated it, didn't feel natural, didn't have enough time in the morning to unscrew that many bottles and swallow that many pills. So I'd throw them in a baggie, put them in the car to take them with me, forget that I didn't have a bottle of water. It was just very frustrating. So when I went back to see my doctor for my 6-month follow-up, she's like, how you doing? I said, fine. I hate taking that many pills. And that's when she told me that there was one thing that was clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress by almost half in 30 days. Now, I just happened to know what oxidative stress was because I was an endurance athlete. I was a CrossFit athlete. My coach literally called me the oxidizer. So I knew that oxidative stress was essentially rusting from the inside out. I knew I had too much of it. I knew I needed less of it. When she said that, it caught my attention. I knew I was going to take that for the rest of my life. Did not know it was one of those things. Did not know that, that they were going to pay me to share this with people. I was going to tell people about it anyway. I am a person who wants to help people. I want people to live their best life. Don't tell them, but I would have told people about this if they never ever paid me. It just so happens that they do. So I'm very, very grateful about this. And, I didn't look for it. It found me, and I'm so thankful.
Oh, what a gift. Life-changing. I love that so much. And you identified something unique in this company, nobody else had. And that was one of my checks on my checklist too. The products were life-changing for me, but I saw the potential and what it could do my friends and family. And so I love that so much. Thank you, Dr. McKee. You did mention something about a plan B. It's funny when you think about how life can take a quick, flip of the switch any given day. And when I started LifeVantage and sharing it with friends and family, and it too became a business that was totally surprising and totally a gift, I thought, what, this is great. This is a plan B that I'm going to have, something down the road. Like you said, I was totally surprised that they were paying me for something I love to do and love to share, and my family would take the rest of my life. But one day I went to work, and guess what? My plan A changed just like this. That my corporation no longer had a position for me. And I thought, it could have been devastating, especially a tragedy, a financial tragedy for my family. But I thought, what? I have LifeVantage. And what a gift. So something that could have been horrible for my family, I had a backup. My plan B became my plan A, and I am forever grateful. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And I appreciate you, and I love you so, so much. So let's go on to Dr. Viglione. So you run your own practice, right? Here you have this amazing integrative practice. You have fun there. I love you. I love hearing that you say your patients come in and they have fun, but it takes a lot to run your own practice. I know there's so many struggles associated with running a comprehensive practice. The overhead for your building, your equipment, your employee salaries, the incredible amounts of time that you spend there. I would love, Dr. Viglione, if you just share a little bit of the insight of the benefits you've experienced partnering with LifeVantage and growing this global online wellness business.
Well, you're right. Running your own practice is extremely difficult. And, you see most physicians have joined some type of medical group over the last, say, 10 years. And I did exactly opposite. I was in a medical group, left it because I wanted to venture out in more innovative type of practice. And there's really no room for that in a conventional setting. But oh my gosh, was it tough. And then after I did that, I go through a horrendous divorce that left me with really no retirement. That was his side of our relationship. You know, he was taking care of the retirement and, you know, just basically breaking even, just a ton of stress. I mean, it was horrible. So I got myself in a lot of debt trying to keep the practice going. Well, that was also a very physical stress on my body. And, you know, I had aches and pains in my joints, things like that. And being in an anti-aging practice, I was very familiar with the term oxidative stress, which is what ages us. And ultimately, we can come down with a disease because our body is rusty, as Sean was saying. And we belong to an organization called the Anti-Aging Regenerative Medicine Society, A4M. And we go annually to a conference in Las Vegas. And so we were going to the conference. Well, I had a mutual friend that knew Sean. I didn't know Sean at the time. And he introduced us, and they were involved with LifeVantage. And I made fun of them because I thought that they were suckers being involved in this company. And they invited me to a lecture. I went to the lecture, and of course, it was all about oxidative stress and our what do we call that? Not our signature, but our main product that activates a pathway in your body that gets rid of that oxidative stress. So when I saw the data, I nearly fell out of my chair. I was like, oh my gosh, that's going to change. I've been praying for answers. I said, this is probably going to take care of my physical complaints, but he knew it was going to fix the financial situation as well, because I knew the power of networking and knew with the right product that it could make a very big difference. And in fact, it did, because I have really no intention of working the business, but I was just going to give my patients the product because I knew the power that product would have. But Dr. Sean insisted that I work the business, and I started to get checks, and it literally pulled me out, or it still is pulling me out of this massive debt that I incurred for myself. So it's been a wonderful plan B to help my plan A get better. But ultimately, I'm looking at this as my retirement. But I probably will never retire, but at least I can cut back and have more fun and travel with you guys.
I love that so much. And how great is that? And with this company, you don't have to worry about the overhead. Literally, all you have to do is take the product. I mean, where can you get involved in a business like that, where all they ask you is just, let's take the product, let's share with people. And Deb, people come from all over, I know, to see you. And now you get a share globally, all over the country. And the products come directly to your patients, right? You don't have to carry anything in your practice. You don't have the overhead there. There's no equipment to run your LifeVantage business. It's literally just sharing these amazing testimonies, and just your personal one. I love that so much. And, when I look at you, I just see vitality. I see beauty and health and this wellness. And, every time I see you, you're outdoors enjoying life. And I know you love that. And I know that time is hard to get when you run your own practice. I was the same way. I love my job, and I would be there for hours and hours and hours, but I would literally have one vacation a year that I would plan with my family that I could take and extended like a week off. And we'd go and we'd come back and we'd just get right back into the grind. So now you have this global wellness visit. You have meetings where we all get together. Tell me a little bit about the benefit of having a little bit of time and connecting, with LifeVantage. I mean, it's kind of like family, right?
Right. Well, that was an interesting thing, because they said, well, as you're sharing the business opportunity, find people that you like to spend time with, that you'd like to travel with, and you'd like to make money with. And I said, well, I'm not going to these things. I can't get away from my practice. So I didn't anticipate that I would be traveling. But then when I committed to work the business, that's basically, you need to do it. You have to go to meetings. You have to be trained. Same as in medical, we have to go and get our continuing ed. So after I did that, I developed a family, a network of true friends that I truly enjoyed being with. But guess what? The income that you made from LifeVantage allowed me to leave the practice for up to 4 times a year, plus then the continuing education. So I got to have little mini vacations, which is stress relieving right there, but without that additional income, I could never be away from my practice.
I love that. So you found a product that you love, changed your life, gave you some time, gave you the gift of spending more time with your family and having new friendships, and you still get to have your amazing practice. So thank you so much. I love that you blended all this together, and I think you're amazing, and I love the friendship that we have, and I can't wait to see you again soon. So thank you so much. So next, I'd love to ask Dr. Goodman. I'd love to ask you just a few questions. So Dr. Goodman and I have practiced together for over 20 years. One of my best friends ever and an incredible mentor. And he has the amazing gift, you all, of educating people and making science simple. He loves to talk all things health and wellness. And Dr. Goodman, I'd love for you to share with us a little bit about having this business, having this network marketing business has allowed you to broaden what you love to do, which is educating the public.
All right. Well, I'd love to talk about that. Thank you so much. And I also want to just say that I'm just honored that I'm amidst all 4 of you, all 3 of us here tonight. You have become some of my closest friends, and I really appreciate our relationship. I would not have known 2 of the individuals here, Dr. McKee and Dr. Viglione, had it not been for LifeVantage, and that's a big part of my love for this particular company and what I'm doing. But in my practice of medicine, I was taking care of children primarily, and I wasn't really taking care of families. But I had so many children that were in need of care, and I saw many, many opportunities that I could use my knowledge of nutrigenomics and reducing oxidative stress for my population of people that I took care of. But primarily, before I was going to try to do that, I was going to do it with myself. And I needed to prove to myself that this science works. And so I was very intrigued with the science. And as I delved down into it, of course, I realized that the reduction in oxidative stress that I was attempting to do for myself, because I was already, I think I was like 57 when I first started with LifeVantage, and I was already having a lot of physical debilitations, let's just say, problems. And I was on multiple medicines for my own personal health. And I really needed to get on top of that and do something for myself. So really, originally, my reasons for taking these products and getting involved in the business was very selfish. It was to make myself better. But once I realized that that was the case and I could do that, and that this was true, and that the science was real, then I could start utilizing it for my other clients, and not only the children primarily that I was taking care of, but their parents. So it allowed me a much greater outreach for the population that I care about, and I was taking care of children and families and their families. And what, just by the nature of the fact that they were seeing changes in me and they themselves were having changes, it sort of spread by word of mouth. It was a pretty easy sort of thing to talk about. And so the nature of network marketing, as network marketing is really you're just talking about or sharing information that, as Dr. McKee and Dr. Viglione said, I was going to do anyways. So I was using the product because I wanted to use the product. I was getting a discount on it because I was using it. And then I shared it and then just started to see that I was receiving a check or a stipend or a commission. It's like, wow, I mean, I could do this and take care of my patients and get a little bit of something on the backside. That was like fantastic. But then what happened is I noted that those checks kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was really just sort of doing it part-time. So I was very, very pleased with that, and it encouraged me to do it some more. But I began to talk about it so dramatically to my population that I started to get into a public forum where I would educate, and I would go out and I'd do like a public service announcement, where I'd go out to have like a miniature little meeting, or I'd do a Zoom meeting, you know, how popular that is now. And these were opportunities to continue to spread the message of good health, and it just snowballed. So it was really, really an opportunity that came out of essentially initially a need for myself that then spread to the people that I love to take care of. And then as a side benefit, like I said, I got to meet all of you guys.
Oh, I love that so much. Such a gift, right? Helping people. And I love your education. And so many people just come from all over to listen to you, And truly, all of us are here because we want what is best for our patients, what's best for our families, what's best for our friends. And these products truly are amazing. And we don't make any claims to cure or treat or mitigate any disease or illness with these products. And as far as the opportunity goes, like any business that you are involved in, there's always going to be variability in income. And so we're really not making any specific claims on income tonight, but we just wanted to share that potentially this is a gift and a way for someone to share what they love to do and create a business of their own. And so, Dr. Goodman, thank you so much. I want to talk to you a little bit about your personal transformation has been beautiful to watch. I just love that so much. And like I said, we've been practicing together these 20 plus years. And I know you've always been very discerning of any products that you recommended to anyone. As of course, whatever you put in your family, you're going to be very skeptical, whether it's a nutraceutical or a pharmaceutical. Would you just share a little bit about why you love the quality of these LifeVantage products?
Right. Well, I think that's, I think for anybody who spends their entire career getting their education, their licensure, their board certification, that's a lot at stake if you get behind something that's not real. If you start promoting something that is not a true gift, a true science-based product, then you have the possibility that you could jeopardize everything that you've been working for because you belittle what you stand for, your integrity. And that was really, really important to me. I did not want to get behind anything that could possibly be a farce or a lie or something ill-conceived that way. I don't need that income that much for that. My reputation is number one. So in order to preserve that, I need to make very, very careful discernment of the science and the research that went into this product. And I absolutely validated it for myself. I mean, this science for the LifeVantage company and the Paramount products that I was promoting and using had been researched in numerous articles. I think there are about 31 articles now that have to deal with this particular product, which is a nutrigenomic activator. And this company has at least 7 US patents and 6 international patents on the product. It's a unique, one-of-a-kind product. It was researched for over 30 years in development by essentially a scientist who created it. And he was the guy who actually discovered superoxide dismutase, which was the top dog in antioxidant potential back in the late 1960s. And then he went on to develop this herbal ingenious product that utilizes power of nature to literally tell your body at the genetic level to turn on its own antioxidant potential much greater than what you could possibly do by ingesting natural one-to-one antioxidants, which are there to reduce free radicals. So when I saw that science and it was validated and published, in fact, at PubMed.gov, which of course is the National Archive of the National Institutes of Health, I mean, it had me. And I realized that this was peer reviewed. There was no question about it. And yet this company had the patent on it. It was like, okay, I'm all in. And then when I started using it and seeing it for myself, that was the additional validation that allowed me to be able to be as emphatic about my excitement with these products. So I just want to say that that's why I got behind the LifeVantage company, and I know that's also why my colleagues here, Dr. Viglione and Dr. McKee, and you, as of course, Debbie, and there are probably over 1,200 physicians that are directly involved with this company, but that's not to say that everyone is a physician who's in the LifeVantage organization. This organization reaches across all different categories of people. But because we're scientists, we understand and can digest that information and make it more understandable, so that the public can be aware of it. And that's why I'm so excited about it.
I love that so much. That's one of the things I love about you, Dr. Goodman. You are always passionate about what you believe in. And I just thank you so much. So Dr. McKee, Dr. Viglione, Dr. Goodman, I just thank you all so much. I love our friendships. I love our time together. And in closing, I just want to say a few things. So when you practice medicine for so long, like we all have here, I mean, years of experience together, right? We always know that there's always some kind of struggle out there. Not enough time, not enough money. And it becomes so evident that there has to be a better way to live life, to protect the things and the people you love the most. And truly, there's no one best answer or solution out there, but yes, there is always a better way. So the healthcare system is changing. We've all seen it. We're all going through it ourselves personally right now, and people truly are in a quandary. So we know as healthcare providers, we need to know that there are some solutions out there. And yes, again, that there has got to be a better way. And I think the four of us tonight would agree that we have found a solution with this incredible company, LifeVantage. One where we get to help people globally, help lead people to better health, which is what we took an oath to do, right, everyone? And to provide potentially an opportunity for someone out there. So we hope we brought some value. We hope we brought some insight to each of you listening into our talk tonight. So, and we just ask that you please reach out to the person that cared enough about you to share this call with you. And thank you guys. I appreciate every single one of you, and everybody have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.